We roll on here as we approach the finale of pool play day number 2. It's game 3 of our quadruple header here on the Windy City Sports Network between Chicago Cubs Nike RBI and Kansas City Nike RBI. 2 games in the book here at Granderson already. Victorious in those games were Milwaukee and Chicago. Cubs Nike RBI got a much needed win over Milwaukee just a couple of moments ago, and now they're back for this matchup against Kansas City. Hello everyone, welcome inside the broadcast booth. He's James Lincoln, I'm Kevin Blader. We thank you for stopping by. James, impressive performance from this Cubs Nike RBI team against a Milwaukee team who had a ton of momentum coming into that game. They stopped it from the opening pitch.
Yeah, the Cubs were able to stop it from the opening pitch as they were able to use a lot of their momentum pitching-wise, stopping Milwaukee a lot as they were really heavy hitters in that first game. Their pitching staff was very much so on, able to stop them from scoring any runs in general.
And this is a Kansas City team that comes in 1-2. They lost again earlier this morning. They had a great showing against Gary in game 1, but since then they haven't been able to find it. We saw them yesterday against Indianapolis, and they just looked like a completely different team. How do they get back to that form that we saw them against Gary?
Yeah, in order to get back to that form against Gary, pitching is going to have to be one of their strong points this upcoming game against the Cubs. Both sides has to be a pitching duel, but we'll see which one actually pulls through in that offensive side.
Pair of 1-2 teams hoping to keep their championship game hopes alive in this one. Chicago and Kansas City coming up next on the Windy City Sports Network. We welcome you back to Curtis Granderson Stadium. Kevin Malater, James Winkin. Game 3 of 4, and Ollie Bishop Oliver to lead things off for Kansas City against Sam Laporte of Chicago. And the first pitch from the right-hander out of Lane Tech is skied behind home plate. This is a chance to reach the seats in front of us, and it does. As some teams who are here to support and also wait for their next games all going after that baseball. It's a cool environment here. The stadium's starting to fill in with a lot of the different teams right now because obviously as the games progress, the games here will affect more and more teams and what their fates look like for tomorrow as well.
Yeah, well, definitely looking to see what everybody's fate is for a lot of these different teams that have played already. One team in mind is Milwaukee as they wait. Their pool play is done for this tournament. Now they just wait to see what's next for them. Maybe the championship game, maybe not. We're all kind of clenching to our seats, trying to figure out who's going to be in, who's going to be not. One team in mind, though, that kind of has a really good shot at making that championship game is those Chicago White Sox.
Sox are 3-0 as of earlier this morning. They've been playing their games today over at St. Ignatius, which is about literally a stone's throw away from where we are here at Granderson. 2-2. Fly ball right field, right side, I should say. Piper and Rodriguez come together. It's the second baseman, Rodriguez, near the line to make the play for the out.
Some great communication by the two out there. Rodriguez able to hold on to that baseball.
So the first down of the game has been recorded, and here's Dondre Finley. Great day yesterday, especially against Gary, and now he's back again, trying to spark a trip to a 500. I mean, that's what they would love to see out of Kansas City this summer. 2-2. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, James, just the baby steps of getting and rebuilding in a sense after a 0-4 trip a year ago, and certainly 2-2 would be incredible for this program.
Yeah, having those baby steps going from that 0-4 to 2-2, even though it's not in that winning columns, 500 is still really great.
Strike three call on Finley, and there's two gone.
And to go from that 0-4 to 2-2, that would be just a very progressive way of seeing things, and you can. It's definitely a way to build off until the next season. Cubs as well are looking to go into that 2-2 column, so we'll see which side becomes victorious.
Sharon Bryant, the center fielder, with two away, lays that one off the plate for a ball. Sam Laporte, right-handed pitcher out of Lane Tech. They're on Chicago's north side. Here's the 1-0. Fastball just missed the plate. Lane Tech won this year's Chicago Public League City Championship game held at Wrigley Field. Second time in the last 3 years the program has won it all, as Laporte misses with another fastball. It's a 3-ball count here to Bryant.
Yeah, in Lane Tech they have a really strong sense of baseball and a really good roster out there. 40-man rosters, so everybody is working around the horse and making sure that everybody gets some playing time at Lane Tech.
So that'll be Elijah Sanchez now to come up with the walk there to Bryant. Sanchez is the catcher. Nice, take the gear off, hence the brief delay. No score, top 1, 2 out. After the first two men were retired, Laporte walks Bryant on 4 pitches, and now we'll let to reset here.
That's definitely a difficult part with being the catcher. You have to wait, play that waiting game with the gear on, and then having to take it off with 2 outs.
First pitch to Sanchez, misses down and away. 5 straight balls thrown by Laporte.
Laporte had a really good first commanding 2 outs, and then goes straight away with 5 balls.
Runner on the move for second, pitches away. Alexander's throw down to second is not in time. Bryant with a stolen base there for Kansas City.
Some good heads-up base running by Bryant right there.
So So it's a 2-ball count. Sanchez now has a chance of a runner on scoring position. Two-0 home. Hard hit ground ball past the diving Yelich and into left field for a base hit. Bryant being waved around. Rivera's throw to the plate is there to get him. Beautiful throw from left field from Jaden Rivera. Cutting down Saran Bryant at home plate to end the inning. No score as we go to the bottom of the first. Cubs showed off the bats there. In the top of inning number 1, we're in the bottom of the first, and the first pitch from Dante Finley goes behind Josue Medialadia. He's the DH today. For Chicago. And lets that one go by for a strike. Medialadia is the DH, followed by Rivera, Rodriguez, Yelich, and Diaz. Way out in front of the off-speed pitch there. And it's 1-2.
The Cubs had a pretty good outing last game. Lots of good contact hits. Thankfully winning that game, a close matchup.
That is. I'm going to say he leaned into it, so he is out. I say one down, and Kevin Garcia, the third base coach and manager for Chicago, is going to have some words here at the home plate umpire. So we'll wait to see here We saw Kevin Garcia win a quote-unquote challenge earlier in the game against Milwaukee.
Yeah, this one doesn't seem it's going to be overturned anytime soon. I think that he's going to be out on this play. Angle, it did look like he was leaning a little bit forward in, but could have just been turning to make sure the pitch didn't hit him.
There's no convincing the home plate umpire of that. So now they'll bring up Jaden Rivera. It's a strikeout, and technically the catcher gets credit for the put out there. So one gone now. Here's Jaden Rivera, who, man, what a throw that was to end the inning.
Yeah, an amazing throw by Rivera out in left field. He was able to just corral that baseball, throw it very deep out there, and have the ball roll into the catcher. The last second, able to hit the ball into the mitt of the catcher and hit the foot. And secure the last out and make sure that Kansas City didn't put any runs on the board.
Great job by Alexander securing the baseball prior to getting the tag on him as well, though.
Yeah, very great job by Alexander as well in that aspect. And a strong outing by Laporte as well.
There's a walk there for Rivera, so the Cubs, Nike RBI side, has a base runner for the first time in this one. So if one gone and a runner on first, here's Jaden Rodriguez. Check down the runner, and Rivera's safe there at first.
Kansas City does that a lot with a lot of their pitchers. They'll do a lot of pick plays.
Runner goes, pitches downstairs. Oh, and it hits the pitcher Finley and nearly caroms into the outfield. Oh my goodness, hopefully he's okay.
I hope that he's okay. Some friendly fire. And that throw all the way to second. Hits Finley directly right in the back.
Right in the right, literally right on the 8 part of the back of his jersey.
Yeah, he'll definitely feel that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, as a catcher, that has to be the worst feeling in the world. Your job is out there to protect the pitcher, and you accidentally hit him on a throw down.
Yeah, definitely one of the worst feelings in the world is, especially when you're trying to protect that pitcher, and it's not your goal to hit them directly square in the back. Your goal is to get it over to second. Ball just doesn't really trail on over the head of Finley.
Jose Sanchez is the catcher for Kansas City in this one. So runner on second. Rivera has the stolen base. And there's a strike called there on Rodriguez.
Finley able to get his get back after getting hit in that back. He's able to get a strike there.
Three and one now. Grounded back up the middle and through for a base hit. Rivera around third. Bryant's throw to the plate is way off target. And Chicago Cubs Nike RBIs break the scoring seal in this one with an RBI from Jaden Rodriguez.
J-Rod able to make some really great contact with that baseball and hits it all the way to center field. Offline throw, able to have the Cubs strike first.
RBI single, it's an advancement on the throw. And so now here's Luke Jolich. Ground ball right side, base hit into right field. Rodriguez being waved around. The relay throw will go towards second base. It's an RBI single for Luke Yulich, and it's 2-0 Cubs Nike RBI.
And Luke Yulich is able to have some great oppo power, push it out into the other side, and create himself to have a single. Good old RBI, and Cubs strike again.
3 straight base runners have reached since the strikeout call there, the questionable strikeout call on the possible hit by pitch. And now here's Elias Diaz, the right fielder for the Cubbies.
You kind of think to yourself, if doesn't get called out on that hit by pitch.
And now they throw the pickoff attempt away. Yulich around second, he's going for third. Luke Yulich on his way on an error throw there by the pitcher and Dante Finley. And the Cubbies keep on rolling. Score that E1 for those at home.
Luke is able to just be on his horses, on for the races, going all the way from first to third from that arid throw. This Cubs team just seems to be in that driver's seat after that victory that they had against Milwaukee.
Now here's a mini meeting on the mound between Dante Finley Dondre Finley and Dante Finley.
A little bit of a triplet meeting there.
Two balls and no strikes to Elias Diaz. Three balls, no strikes. There's strike one on the get me over there. Dante Finley Jr. on the bump for Kansas City. And that one's a wild pitch. Coming to the plate now is Yulich, and he scores. 3-0 Chicago.
And another arid throw by Finley there. Gets away from him. Yulich is able to just run off of his horse and just keep on going. Slides in safely to home.
And now pitching coach and the rest of the infield comes together. That infield of Lanier, Ali Bishop Oliver, Dante Finley, Miguel Navarro, Dante Finley Jr., and Sanchez as well, the catcher. Only one out here, 3 already across on 2 hits, and a runner on first for George Matos Jr. here in a moment.
You know, as they're meeting, I get to kind of take in the skyline, and first attraction that many people see out here in that outfield is, would you call it the Cirrus or the Willis Tower?
I'm a Sears Tower guy all the way.
I say that Cirrus as well. I know a lot people say Willis, but it's definitely a conversation to be had if you're Chicagoan.
How do you know if someone's a tourist? Depends on how they say the name of that building right there.
It's also if their first attraction to go to is the Bean or not.
Yes.
Good old Millennial Park. It's lots of attractions in that park as well. You also have the Maggie Daley Park that many tourists, and I mean I still go there from time to time. It's a
great ice skating rink in the wintertime.
Yeah, very great ice skating rink. They also have some rollerblading, some putt-putt golf. It's
you a big putt-putt guy?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, a lot of my friends out there, they love playing golf. So I don't really do the whole 18 holes, but they do. Others of mine, it's an attraction for them. They love it out there.
Meanwhile, the count's 2 balls and 1 strike here to George Matos. He's in center field today for the Cubs Nike RBI side. Solid game at the dish. We've seen him in the leadoff spot a couple of times. Runner on the move, and he rolls over that one, and it's foul. Cubs Nike RBI out in front. Matos was the leadoff man against Milwaukee a little bit ago. 1 for 4 showing with a single back in the 4th inning in that contest. Hard hit on one, hop to third. Lanier goes to second for one. Finley's turn to first. Not in time. Great speed and great hustle from Matos to leg it out and forces it to become a fielder's choice.
Yeah, really great speed by Matos there. He's able to just dig it all out and make sure that he's on first safely. Kansas City just a little short with the relay.
Second out of the inning as Daniel LeBron steps up. Playing the 5 position today, third base. And he nearly gets clipped in the helmet with that one.
There's been a lot of baseballs that have almost clipped these Cubs players, but the only one that has is the controversial hit.
We're on the move. Matos gets in there safely. Stolen base for George. Good effort though. Good throw from Sanchez. Dante Finley nearly applied a great tag there.
Yeah, really great effort by George there. He's able to just pop up and snap and throw.
Went inside, nearly gets him. So Chicago so far, 3 runs on just 2 hits, and they've benefited from 1 error. That's a foul ball. By the way, White Sox Nike RBI, as that one is going to be a wild pitch, and up to third on the play goes Matos. So I was saying, White Sox Nike RBI, they won their final game against Gary Nike RBI 10-0. They're 4-0, which all but likely locks up their trip to the regional championship game tomorrow. And actually, as I'm saying that, they're the only unbeaten team left, so they are in. We'll wait, obviously, for official confirmation, but yes, that's on the ground, left side. Bishop Oliver backhands it, long throw, and it gets away. That'll bring in another run for Chicago. As Matos crosses, LeBron's aboard. And it's 4-0 for the team from the north side of Chicago.
Yeah, and a good congratulations to the team from the south side for becoming victorious against Gary, Indiana's RBI team earlier today, making sure that they're 4-0 on pool play.
Just off the plate. This is John Piper. Cubs, if they can get some help, still very much alive in this final. However, Indy Nike RBI could be slamming that door shut. They're up 5-0 right now on Minnesota. 1-0. Piper waves and misses a good changeup there from Finley, and it's 1-1.
And both Indy and the Chicago White Sox RBI teams are really good teams that we've been able to see. They showcase all of their abilities, especially with Indy's heavy hitters, and the Sox, they have some really good pitchers on that squad. So if it matches up that way for the championship, that should be a really good championship to come out and watch.
They did not face each other in the pool play as well, so that would be their first meeting this weekend. Piper works a walk, and I'll bring up Ellis Alexander. He's the catcher and the number 9-hole hitter. And this is going to be all for Finley Jr., his second meeting of the day already. So a change here on the bump, which means we'll take a break. 4-0 Cubs Nike RBI out in front with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Welcome back. Alameen Bishop Oliver, the right-handed younger brother of their shortstop, Ali Bishop Oliver. Stands in and stands on the bump, works out of the stretch. Both runners on the move, pitch inside. Throw down to third is bounced in there, and safe is LeBron, and so is Piper at second. Cubs Nike RBI trying to bust this one open early here.
Yeah, and that would really help benefit the Cubs as they would help with that run differential. Of course, there's a lot of moving parts with Indy in that driver's seat in second place, but still a lot of baseball to be played, and Cubs and kind of having to play that waiting game while also playing an actual game against Kansas City.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 away. And 2 men in scoring position for Alexander. He flips that one into the air. Shallow right field could be trouble, and it drops for a base hit. LeBron's in. Piper right behind him. The throw in is cut off, and it's 6-0 Cubs Nike RBI here in the bottom of the first. Alex Alexander comes through with a pair of runs driven in. With 2 away here, and the lineup card will flip over, and Chicago's battered around here in the first.
That's a great bloop shot by Ellis Alexander there. He's able to drive into second baseman there, almost close enough to grab it, but just comes up a little too short. And Alexander is able to securely stay at first base.
So now, Mehdi Aladia comes back up for the second time this inning. He struck out back in the first inning on what would have been the hit by pitch had the umpire not said he leaned into it. 6-0 Chicago. I mean, this is the dream start for Kevin Garcia's team. Bounces in there. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, it's the most dominant they've been all tournament so far. 6 runs, in 1 inning already. Prior to that, they only had 3 in the game against Milwaukee as their most runs batted in 1 inning.
Oh, just off the plate. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
You know, looking at the dimensions of this ballpark kind of reminds me a little bit of the Orioles ballpark with the apartments out in right field.
Reminds you of the warehouse.
Just a little bit of the warehouse.
Three balls and no strikes. And so far here in this first inning, the Cubs have had 9 batters. This is the 10th batter to come to the plate. Of the 9 who have already completed their at-bats, 8 of them have reached base safely.
Yeah, and this just shows how strong of a suit this has been for the Cubs so far.
Bishop Oliver gets one in there. So 3 balls and 1 strike is the count. We'll check on the courtesy runner, and safe in there is Hernandez, running on behalf of Ellis Alexander, the catcher. Here's the courtesy runner. We'll see Alexander back in the second inning. He's on the move on the 3-1. It's a weak ground ball towards third. Linear charges. Throw on the run to first in time. And that will finally end the inning. But it's a long and productive one for Cubs Nike RBI. They sent 10 men to the plate and score 6 times. We're through 1 here on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome you back to Curtis Granderson Stadium. Calvin Malater here with James Winkin. Top 2 Cubs Nike RBI out in front of Royals Nike RBI. 6-0 as Dante Finley steps up. He's playing second base today for the Royals in their final pool play game. 1-2 record. They opened up pool play yesterday with a dominant victory over Gary Nike RBI before falling 11-2 to Indianapolis. Ball one. Weak tapper up along the first baseline. Laporte pounces on it. His throw to first is in plenty of time for the out.
Laporte very cool, very calm, and able to just pounce on that ball, throw it over to first base. The easy out there. If you're Kansas City right now, it might be a little disheartening seeing that 6 on the scoreboard, but there's still so much time left in this game, and if they're able to just keep at it and get a few base runners on the board, some runs, they should be okay.
1-0. That one misses up and away. Popped foul into the first base dugout. Two one. Ground ball left side, foul.
A little bit of a snag by the third base coach there. Showing his team how it's done. All fundamental baseball.
2-2. Counter down. Alexander couldn't squeeze the biscuit. Now the windup, Laporte ready. Here comes the 3-2. Swinging a tapper, he fouled it off himself.
It's a good fight that he's putting up against Laporte.
Three-two again. Good job here by Lanier, fighting off another good pitch from Laporte. Good battle.
Yeah, very good battle by Lanier. He's able to just keep tapping these baseballs all around, trying to look for something to go his way, and hopefully he gets it to become fair.
3-2. Another one that's just tapped foul.
Yeah, he's just running up Laporte's pitch count, pitch by pitch. Really good battle here.
Way off again. Swinging a ground ball, weakly hit. That's a foul ball again. Three-two. Line drive left center field. That's a base hit for Lanier. He wins the battle, takes a wide turnaround first, but will pump it there. And it's a one-out single for the Royals' third baseman.
An amazing battle one right there. He's able to poke it out into the left center gap. Very long single, as you see the strong arm of the left fielder.
Fair already showcased the arm one time in this game that ended the first inning. And now Miguel Navarro will come on up.
Yeah, and if you're the Royals right now and you're kind of hitting it to him, probably gonna ease up on the base paths if you
you're going station to station.
Yeah, very much so, station to station. If you see him corralling that baseball and starting to wind up and throw it into the infield.
Here's Miguel Navarro. He's the first baseman. That That one misses inside. Saw Navarro a couple of times yesterday. 0 for 2 in the game against Indianapolis. Johnson misses there. 1-1 count. A couple of appearances on base in the latter innings of that game against Gary yesterday. Midday range. Single and a walk. Scored a run. The 1-1 from the floor. Slider dipped a little bit too much up and in. It's 2 balls and 1 strike for a Kansas City team, like I said, already been improvements across the board for this entire weekend. I know obviously a lot of these players want to get to the final, but if you're looking from a number standpoint, you see improvements from every major statistical category from this team. Yes, that one is a little tap or foul towards that first base dugout.
Yeah, lots of statistical numbers that you see that are in the advantage of Kansas City as their growth continues to keep on growing. They're able to see that 0-4 improvement to 1-2 in pool play now this year, and hopefully getting to that 2-2. But even if they don't get to 2-2 on the day, it's still a lot of improvement with especially in that batter's box. Lots of battles being won. Yeah, lots of really great approaches to the baseball in that batter's box.
Another good fight here, another good battle. Navarro on a full count here. Some Royals, Nike RBI fans and family members in attendance, making some noise right now. Trying to get their team back into the game as time is called.
Yeah, these last 2 Kansas City Royals hitters have really been making Laporte work pitch by pitch just for him to get another out.
3-2. Swinging on a line drive to right field. It drops in front of Diaz for a base hit. First and second here with 1 away for Kansas City.
Yeah, another battle won by Kansas City there, looking to rally with 1 out to their name.
Time is called as Coach Kevin Garcia goes out there to talk things over with Laporte. And the battery told the rest of the infield stay put. So Royals fans really making some noise right now here in Chicago.
And it's deservingly so, trying to find their way to a rally after going down 6-0 in the prior inning.
So if 1 out, and Lanier on second and Navarro on first, in brings Dominic Johnson, the designated hitter. Port first base side, fires. Caught on and missed strike 1 on a good fastball. Johnson, DH, he catches well. 0-1. And one misses off the plate.
Laporte struggling a little bit just to find his zone. He did have that first strike and then kind of goes out and away. Next pitch there.
Came back, found the zone. It's 1-2.
There we are.
To the man from one of James's favorite city names, Sugar Creek, Missouri.
Love that Sugar Creek. Kind of, it feels like a candy that should be made.
Called, strike 3. Slow breaking ball in the outside corner. Johnson knew it right away, and there's 2 gone here in the Kansas City second.
That's one of those worst feelings as a batter. You're just kind of easing up on that ball, finally realizing that it's going to be a breaking ball, and it's too late before you make your decision to even swing, and get rung up on that pitch.
So here's Joseph Carter. He's the left fielder for Kansas City. We haven't got an opportunity really to see him a bunch this weekend, as Laporte gets a strike back despite stumbling a bit. Top of the order on deck, should it get to him. As that one runs in tight. He's missing, when he misses with the fastball, James, he's missing glove side.
Yeah, lots of it is going glove side within his fastball, just runs a little bit inside. Of course, with lefty on righty situation, you're kind of wanting to throw it in on his hands. But that can be a little troublesome as a righty, especially where you're kind of wanting to go a little bit towards that other side of the right up and open as it does there.
He throws his hands out and it drops in for a base hit. They're not going to test the arm of Matos from center field. It caromed off the rubber, but thankfully for Chicago, both Alexander and Laporte were there. Bases are loaded now for the top of the order for Kansas City. A couple of hits away, and we got a really interesting ball game here quickly, James.
Yeah, if Kansas City is able to get some more hits, especially if there's an extra base hit, that could really open it up and make it a whole new ball game here. Kansas City has been going station to station, of course, not really testing the arms of the outfielders anymore, as they did already in that first inning and were called out on the last out of the top half of the first.
Bishop Oliver popped out to begin our ball game today. It was to the second baseman, Jaden Rodriguez. Bishop Oliver lays off a high cheese. As a pitcher, how do you just get out of this mentality of just trying to not focus on anything else but the hitter, and then when you're struggling just to try to find that third out right now? As here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. I'm sure swings like that help the confidence for sure.
Oh yeah, swings like that definitely help the confidence. I mean, just pounding the zone, and the worst that can come to worst is, of course, the batter hits it, and I mean, it's definitely drives in a few runs, but you got to find that zone first. Be sure you're confident that you're pounding the zone, and then you can paint the corners on that second and third pitch afterwards. But that first strike is definitely what comes to mind, as Laporte is able to do here, and now come back from that 2-0 to make it an even count.
2-2 to Bishop Oliver, the pitch. He got him! Laporte fired up, and rightfully so. Kansas City loads up the bases, but they leave them all there. We go to the last of the second, 6-0, Cubs Nike RBI out in front. Six 0 Chicago out in front. 2-3-4 due up here in the second. Bishop Oliver works quickly, and he gets a first pitch foul ball from Jaden Rivera, the Chicago Cubs Nike RBI left fielder. Cubs Nike RBI sent 10 men to the plate in the first inning. 6 runs on 4 hits. They also were gifted an error by Kansas City as well. They only stranded 1 guy on base. I mean, that's productive right there, the fact they only left 1 in a long inning.
Yeah, Cubs are very productive in that last inning. They're looking to do more of that this inning, and it all starts with the man at the plate, Rivera.
One. Hit hard and through past the diving Bishop Oliver into left field, and Rivera's got himself a base knock. Second time he's reached today. He walked in the first, and now he's got himself a second inning single.
Yeah, he's already been very productive out in left field. You've seen in that first half of the inning, the throw to home plate, and then he gets himself a single.
So Jaden Rodriguez had the RBI single his last time up after Rivera stole second base. He swings first pitch and pops it up to right field. Andre Finley makes the catch, and there's 1 away.
Finley with a good old can of corn, as you would say.
It was funny, I was recently watching some footage of the Cubs Nike RBI trip to the Field of Dreams game for a project we're all working on right now, and they were playing obviously in the Field of Dreams, which is obviously in cornfields, and
yeah,
it was funny. The announcers were joking about, you know, the whole can of corn thing, because they're like, oh, well, now it's really a can of corn because we're in Iowa, we're in the cornfield, and we're at the Field of Dreams. Strike 1 there. It's a Luke Yolich, excuse me, had an RBI single his last time up and scored a run later on. Like I mentioned, of the 10 guys who came to the plate, 8 of them reached base safely. 1 of them was via fielder's choice, but still, nonetheless. Runner on the move. That one's popped up right side, and that will find its way out of play.
But coming back to what you were saying about that can of corn and the figurative speech, reality of speech in that sense of because of the real cornfields. It's also very interesting about the whole story of the saying of can of corn, and I didn't realize that back in the day they had these shelves of literal cans of corn where someone would throw it up and you'd have to catch it.
It's a wild pitch. He was going to be safe anyways. We're on second. 1 out here for Yolich. Just imagine just seeing a little can of corn just in the air. 2-2 the count.
I'm sure my great ancestors would say that it's very normal to them, but in our generation we don't have that anymore. Now we just got Uber drivers.
We're on the move for third. Pitch is swung on and hit in the air. Shallow right field. D'Andre Finley makes the catch. No one there to get the back pick there of Rivera, who was on his way for third, pretty much at third at the time of the point of contact, and there's 2 away. Back-to-back flyouts to right field for Chicago, and now Diaz tries to keep the inning alive.
And right fielder, I guess you could just call him a Husker at this point. With
There's the dad joke for the day.
2 cans.
There's the dad joke for the day.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. you had one yesterday, and there's one today.
It's a delivery of 1 per day.
Diaz gets underneath this one off the end of the bat and skies it up. Bishop Oliver, the pitcher, doesn't see it, and it drops in front of Sanchez, and everyone's safe. And no one's covering home. Here comes the runner, and he's safe. Heads up base running from Rivera, and now no one's covering third. Diaz rounds second, but he'll go back there at 7-0. But my, oh my, miscommunication from Kansas City, and it's cost them an extra run here. I mean, you can't blame the pitcher there. If the pitcher can't see that ball, then someone else has to come in and get it, don't you think?
Yeah, once the pitcher can't really see it, you have to have someone else get it. But in that instance, you would assume that the pitcher would be backing up home. That's what usually happens in those instances. And It's just unfortunate miscommunication by Kansas City, costing them another run due towards the Cubs RBIs. Very, just their very heads-up base running.
Yeah. And the last 3 balls put into play from Chicago, they've all been balls that hitters have gotten underneath and just haven't had good contact with at all. There's a strike to Matos, who reached on fielder's choices last time up. 2 outs, runner on second, 7-0 Chicago Cubs Nike RBI lead. 1-1 the count here.
Yeah.
Bishop Oliver comes set, first base side, deals outside.
That miscommunication there really cost them, because that could have been the end of the inning, making sure that the Cubs didn't score any, and it being a very clean slate. Now you kind of have to go back and hope that you're not able to have the Cubs score any more. But it's definitely doable with 2 outs already.
3-1 count. There is first base unoccupied. That one smacked back up the middle. Bryant charges and he dives, and he can't get there. He pulled up on the dive at the last second. Diaz comes around to score. Here comes Matos. They're going to wave him home. George Matos inside the park, home run for Chicago.
A really great piece of contact by Matos as the center fielder pulls up at the last second. Ball just gets away from him and rolls all the way to center field, leaving Kansas City with no other chance. Matos able to have an inside the park home run.
He began the dive and just canceled it, essentially, like a slide cancel you'll see.
Yeah, a little bit like he was pressing X and then pressed Y on his remote control of the body, and decided to stay up. Either way, if he slides or doesn't in that instance, it's definitely a risky play, even with 2 outs.
And no one backing up either. So Matos has it inside the Parker here in the tournament. 9-0 Chicago Cubs Nike RBI out in front. Through the bat at him, pops it up. Finley, does he see it? Navarro does and makes the catch, and that's the end of the inning. But Chicago tacks on 3 more. We're through 2, 9-0 for the Northsiders after this. Nine to nothing, Chicago Cubs Nike RBI out in front of Kansas City Royals Nike RBI. Laporte back out there. He faced a jam the last half inning when the score was 6-0. Bases loaded for Kansas City, but yet they couldn't get one across. And that was kind of an opportunity where, like, hey, if the Royals Nike RBI team could get a couple of runs, they're back in it. They didn't, and Chicago made them pay for it, and this game has become wide open.
Yeah, this game has definitely become wide open as Chicago is able to strike again with a 3-piece.
Popped up straight back. Alexander, does he have room? It hits the stanchion right behind, right above our poop. That's the closest we've been.
Closest.
That was close.
And that's why we have a roof over our heads, so we're all okay. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Cubs are just definitely open this game all to themselves.
Strike 3 called. Finley down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks there for Laporte. He's up to 4 in this one.
Laporte having this clean slate is able to breathe again and make sure that Kansas City isn't going to get any more base runners across. But we'll see how things all come together as the game protrudes on.
Outside for Saron Bryant. Such a tough decision to make in the last half inning about whether to dive or not to dive. You and I were talking off air, and it's just one of those situations where, and you brought it up briefly before the last commercial break, was that it's for a center fielder, that's a position you played for quite a long time. It's a no-win situation.
Yeah, it's for that one, it's kind of unknown. It's a 50-50 ball, but I mean, with 2 outs, you're definitely wanting to dive. At least I would in that instance. Trying to risk it. You also have to make sure communication-wise that someone else is backing up. That's what hurt Kansas City on that one in order for the Cubs to strike again and have a inside the park home run and score another 2 off of that.
2-2 on an upstairs fastball that may have clipped the top of the zone. If it did, it barely got it. Laporte out of the lineup, 2-2. Got him looking. 3 straight Ks for Laporte, 2 to start the frame. And Elijah Sanchez will look to break that streak.
Yeah, Laporte now throwing some more heat as he does. He's able to get another strikeout there.
Swing and a miss.
What I like about Laporte's delivery, it looks like he takes a breath every single time he's pitching. So make sure that he's at ease.
Just a mental reset before each and every pitch just to clear his mind.
Yeah, that's what a lot of pitchers definitely have some mental resets, whether it's specific motions, taking a breath, maybe specifically looking at the sky or touching the brim of their cap. But it's definitely a ritual and it gets them at ease and lets them know just to take it pitch by pitch.
3-1 is the count. With 2 away and no one aboard for Kansas City. Line up the pitch. That one misses, and it's ball 4.
So after 2 straight walks, Laporte gives up, or 2 straight strikeouts, sorry about that. Gives up a walk right there.
So now Dante Finley will come on up. Ground out victim back to the mound his last time up. Runner on the move for second. Pitches a strike. Throw down to second base is offline and into center field. Runner slow to get up. And he elects to not go to second base. Testing the arm of Matos out there. So stolen base there for the courtesy runner for Elijah Sanchez.
Some good running out there by that courtesy runner. Just testing the arm of the catcher.
Strike 2. Port trying to leave the runner at second base as Finley calls for time. 0-2. Fly ball center field, hangs up for Matos, and that will retire the side. Laporte does a good job working around the 2 out base sign balls to Sanchez. We go to the last of the third. 9-0 Cubs, Nike RBI. Swing and a miss by John Piper gets things going. New pitcher for Kansas City to start the bottom of the third, Victor Guerrero. We saw him yesterday throw 17 pitches in the team's outing against the Gary Nike RBI program. So he was eligible to pitch today and if necessary tomorrow as well for Kansas City.
Yeah, he had a pretty decent outing against Gary, Indiana. Last time he was on the bump. We'll see how he does against these Cubs as they Kansas City RBI team definitely needs some pitching power right here.
Piper swings and misses, and tagging him out there is Sanchez. Yeah, going back to Guerrero's outing though, yesterday against Gary, came in through the 7th inning in that contest. No runs, no hits. He struck out a pair and hit a batter. And the team's 12-3 victory over the newest program to the Central Regional Tournament.
Yeah, that's the one thing with Guerrero, his command, it's pretty good. He's able to get it over the plate definitely, and strikeouts are very much so a positive. The one thing that we did see though, the ball did travel here and there, especially with that one batter hit in that last 7th inning against Gary. So we'll see what he has for us today. Hopefully he's able to command that control.
Alexander grounds the one back off the foot there of Guerrero. He stays with it and he makes the play. 2 gone.
And kudos to him for not giving up with the play. Just hits off of his left foot, and then he's able to just corral that baseball, toss it over to first easily, and make sure that he has 2 quick and easy outs.
So Sam Laporte, the Cubs Nike RBI pitcher, will step in for his first at bat. He's in the DH's spot, which is the top of the order. Laporte will get to bat from the left side here in this one. Guerrero out of the lineup, first offering to him. And Laporte got a piece of it. The pitch kind of hovered a little bit over the heart of the plate.
Yeah, his pitches by Guerrero definitely seem to be hovering a little bit over the plate. It's definitely where hitter-wise you have to wait on it a little bit more than what you've been seeing.
1-1 the count. As the Cubs Nike RBI dugout cheering him on. It's always fun when you see a pitcher who probably doesn't normally hit, at least based off the reaction from these the chirps coming from the home dugout. 1-2.
Yeah, it's really fun seeing how having a lot of people reacting to seeing their pitcher hit for one of the first times in this tournament.
1-2. Fouls it off. There's your no screen comment. That was going right for my hand right here in our broadcast booth. It wasn't for the netting.
You know, we wonder if it was going to go specifically towards your hand or go into the other box.
That'd feel like robbery then.
A little bit of robbery. Isn't much wind though, so you don't have that in the factor.
Puts the ball in play on the ground a second. Dante Finley. Whoa, very, very close there at first. The first base umpire's laughing right now about the call because he was watching Laporte's reaction to it. Fun stuff there. We've played 3, 9-0. Cubs Nike RBI in front.
Nice job, Sam.
Logan Lanier takes strike 1, or takes ball 1. Now he drives that one deep left center field. Matos ranging back, camps underneath it and makes a great catch in the power alley out there for out number 1.
What a great hustle play by Matos out there. He has to run and get this ball about 20 to 25 feet before he's able to just camp under it. He does it so smoothly. He has a lot of speed out there, able to cover so much ground. That's why he's there at the captain of the outfield in center field.
Here's Miguel Navarro. That one misses. Kansas City dugout trying to get their boys back into it. Down 9-0 here in the top of the 4th. misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Navarro singled his last time up, which came in the second. That was pretty much the Royals Nike RBI's best chance. The score was 6-0 at the time, but they felt they could get a couple of runs. They could hang in there, maybe steal away some of the home side's momentum. Laporte got a massive strikeout there to end it, and since then, Cubs Nike RBI hasn't looked back with 3 runs of their own in the bottom half of that second inning to push that one away and give it a very comfortable lead as the 3-0 is a get me over strike to Navarro. Laporte using that fastball there for it.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that Kansas City was going to get at least 1 run as they had bases loaded and left Laporte had it close to the wall and just in a very big jam. He was able to squeeze out of it though and come up with a clean slate as he's thrown 3 scoreless innings as of now.
3-2. That one misses high. That's a 1-out walk for Navarro. He's aboard for the second time. Joining his teammate Elijah Sanchez, the only members of the Kansas City roster who have reached base safely in both plate appearances thus far. Here's Dominic Johnson, the DH, struck out looking in the second inning.
Good old switch out of the baseballs there as Laporte probably saw something on the baseball. Definitely with pitching, you always want to make sure that they have the best grip on the ball before throwing it. So.
That one misses just off the plate, 1-0. One-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Laporte struggled with the command the last 2 hitters.
Yeah, definitely struggled with this command. It's kind of reminding him a little bit of that second inning where he had a bunch of struggling with command there. So probably channeling in that first and third inning to get some more power onto that plate and throw it to his partner.
3-2, good pitch there with the fastball. Johnson trying to, even if he gets out, try to have a productive out. There hasn't been a whole lot of those for Kansas City thus far in this game, unfortunately for them. The 3-2. Just off the plate. Laporte in disbelief, same with Ellis Alexander. And Kevin Garcia's going to go out there.
What Johnson thought was ball 4 a pitch prior. Looks at the next one. Just takes off to first base. Now you got players on first and second. Laporte a little bit shaken up, a little bit confidence-wise, just from the body language that we were able to see. Having a conversation with his coach. The coach is definitely looking to make sure that he's getting out of his head and kind of airing that dirty laundry that he's probably had from letting on the first 2.
It's Kevin Garcia. He's the 18U, the senior baseball coach for Cubs Nike RBI. So 2 on and only 1 out. Joseph Carter, the left fielder, stands in. Port comes, sets. First base side and fires. He squares the bunt and bunts it foul.
Good effort on the bunt right there. Just pokes it foul. And that's what Kansas City needs. They need to make sure that the Cubs are having a little bit of a defensive struggle in order to score anything on this board.
Slow curve in there, 0-2. He needs it out badly. top of the order on deck. And Ali Bishop Oliver. It'll be a very similar spot as last time Bishop Oliver came up with. Runners on and 2 out. If he's able to retire Carter. On the ground, right side. Piper's only plays to first. He'll take it to the bag there for the out.
And some good leadership by Laporta as he points to Piper to just take it to the bag himself. Only out that it could really get there as the runners advance an extra 90 feet. And now both are in scoring position.
So now Ali Bishop Oliver waves at that one for strike one.
Ali Bishop Oliver has been struggling a little bit as this is his 3rd appearance at the plate.
0-1. Swinging a little jam shot that drops into left center for a base hit. Navarro in, Johnson right behind him. Throw to the plate, offline, caroms away from Alexander. Bishop Oliver to second. Kansas City's on the board. A 2 RBI single for Ali Bishop Oliver, and the Royals Nike RBI team cracks into this deficit. It's now a 7-run game.
A good jam shot by Ali Bishop Oliver there. He's able to finally get himself on base with that single, drive in 2. Really good contact by the kid there.
So Finley up. Our pinch hitter here for Finley as that one skied up. Left side out of play.
That one just a towering foul ball. Almost all the way to the light post.
Evan Powell's actually pinch hitting in the spot. And will play right field next inning. Snap throw back, safe there.
Really good effort to just keep Ali Oliver just very close to the base paths.
Runner goes, pitches skied up. Drifting out in the short left goes Yelich. The short's out, makes the catch. That ends the inning, but Kansas City finally gets on the scoreboard. It's 9-2. We go to the bottom of the 4th here on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome back. 9-2 as Jaden Rivera takes that one in tight for a ball. Rivera, Rodriguez, Yelich due up for Chicago in the fourth after giving up 2 runs in the top half. He pops that one up to our right. It bounces off the press box and down towards the ice cream man here at the ballpark.
Who doesn't love a little bit of ice cream with some baseball?
What? So it's the old school. It's like it's the bell cart. Here's the 1-1.
Good old Paleta.
Line drive, right center field. That's a base hit. Cutting it off in the gap there is Bryant. Going for 2 is Rivera. And the throw there is dropped. And it's a double there for Jaden Rivera. He's aboard for the 3rd time today in this one. And his first extra base hit of the night.
Really good power swing there by Rivera. He's able to just stand up on second, become aboard as the first base runner in this bottom half of the 4th. Not sure if any of you guys could hear, but there's lots of the bells ringing because of the good old ice cream cart.
The pinch hitter here for Chicago, as that one misses on the outside corner. This is Valdez to right center field. That's a base hit in front of Bryant. They will hold Rivera at third base. Sharp throw there in from right center field by Bryant, the center fielder. We're on the corners here for the Cubs RBI team here in the 4th.
Yeah, rightfully holding Rivera there at third as you have a really good throw by the center fielder. If it were to go, I'm pretty sure it would have been gunned out there. So that's why you got the runners at the corners now.
Another pinch hitter here for the Cubbies. That was Xavier Valdez with the base hit. That one misses below the strike zone. It's Peter Hernandez. Ball low. With Rivera on third and Valdez on first. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. And he drives that one deep left center field. Bryant chasing after it. He makes the catch in the power alley. Tagging from third is Rivera. He will come across. 10-2 Cubs on a sacrifice fly from the pinch hitter Peter Hernandez.
Hernandez gets a really good piece of contact there out in that power alley as the center fielder able to corral that baseball, chuck it all the way back in, and the Cubs are able to put 1 more up on the scoreboard.
So sacrifice there. Elias Diaz now up. One down here, bottom 4. Diaz has reached base safely in both his plate appearances in this contest. Hard hit on one, hop to short. In and out of the glove of Bishop Oliver, and Diaz is aboard. Believe that'd be ruled base 6 of how hard that was hit. And Diaz is 2 for 2 of 3 safely reached base plate appearances.
Yeah, really hard hit ball by Diaz there. Bishop Oliver unable to just grab it as it just has a lot of velocity off the bat. It just pops directly right out of his glove.
Last time this guy was at the plate, he hit an inside the park home run.
Possibly looking to do some more damage here.
Got underneath it and fouled it off.
Another extra base hit, or hey, maybe another inside the park home run.
Guerrero steps off. This is downstairs. Cubs Nike RBI, final game of pool play for them. Same for Kansas City. As Matzos got underneath that one, pops it up right side, foul ground, catch is made there. by Navarro for the second out.
Navarro, very heads-up play, is able to just scoot on over into the foul grounds and make an easy catch. Able to get the Cubs to their second out.
Another pinch hitter here for Chicago, Frankie Echeverria. He lays off that one. We saw Echeverria in that game against Milwaukee. Guerrero holds 1-0. 2-0. Echeverria in that contest, 1 for 2 for runs scored.
A pretty good outing by him in that game against Milwaukee, hoping to do some more damage at the plate.
He's in for LeBron, who went 1 for 2 for an RBI single. Works a walk here. So the bases are loaded with 2 away for John Piper.
You got this, John.
Piper worked a walk his last time, or a couple times ago, struck out swinging his last time up. Valdez on third, Diaz on second, Echeverria on first. Each 4 of the infielders are playing straight up the first pitch.
Piper being a lefty, if he's able to get that into that left corner, that could be a lot of trouble there.
Yeah, Carter, the left fielder, playing way off the foul line. It got a good, I'd say, 70 feet or so. Meanwhile, Guerrero's having trouble finding the strike zone and falls behind to another Chicago Cub Nike RBI hitter. Joe. Missed out. Not even challenging here.
Yeah, at this pitch, you're kind of just thinking as a hitter to just, wait for it with a 3-0 count.
That's ball 4, and that's a run for Chicago. 11-2. Give Piper his first RBI of the tilt.
Now with Piper aboard, seeing 4 balls, you're kind of telling your teammate that's next up to bat to just wait for that next pitch before it's a strike.
Yeah, Guerrero struggling right now out there. Seems they're going to stick with him at the very least. Yes, they will. The team will just have their own little personal chat. Players only here. 11-2 is the score. Captain Later Times looking with you here from beautiful Curtis Granderson Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. Final day of pool play here at the Central Regional Tournament.
All right, Alice.
Tomorrow we'll have all 3 championship games for you here on the Windy City Sports Network family of channels. Starting at 8:30 Central Time with the Junior Baseball Division title game. Softball at 10, baseball at 11. First pitch to Ellis Alexander, misses down and away, and there's the strategy you're talking about. He was straight take.
Yeah, definitely a strategy that you just have to go with, just straight taking until he's able to finally find that zone. Just 5 straight balls in a row.
Alexander gets hit. And that's another run for the Cubs. 12-2. Give Alexander the RBI, and it comes with a little pain.
Yeah, a little bit of pain, but that's why ice was invented. That and also for really cool drinks. Lots of refreshments. There's ice for some soda, for some water.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't know we could do that much stuff with ice.
I mean, it's really it. I guess you can do yourself some ice cream as well. That's really it, though, just freezing things up. But for him, it will be definitely used on that portion where he got hit, and specifically his back.
Eddie Aladia comes back in. Cubs, by the way, 2 runs away from winning this game.
Yeah, only 2 runs away from winning the game. They already got bases loaded, 2 outs, of course. So it's a lot of just waiting for your pitch.
That one goes behind the batter. And the count is even to 1-1. Guerrero's having trouble locating anything right now. Mendeladilla, the 9th batter to come to the plate this inning for Cubs Nike RBI. Jaden Rivera led off this inning. He's on deck.
Yeah. Inning definitely reminded me of that first inning.
Oh, and that one hits him, and Mendeladilla, he made sure he got hit that time. And it's 13-2 Cubs. He wanted to make sure he wasn't going to get called for not dodging, and that's going to be all for Guerrero. Unless they choose not to go to him. Let's see. They're waiting for the call officially. And that'll be it. So Guerrero's day is done. It's 13-2 Cubs Nike RBI. And we will take a break here on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome back. We remain in the bottom of the fourth inning. New pitcher is Dante Finley. The second baseman slides onto the bump. And the first pitch down and away to Jaden Rivera. Couple of changes here for Kansas City. Sharon Bryant moves to second base. And Jackson enters the game to play center. The 1-0 in there for a strike. Rivera doubled to lead off this inning. It's the second time the Cubs have batted around in this game.
Yeah, second time that the Cubs have batted around in this game. They're very dominant. That first time happening was in that first inning, showing a 6-piece.
1-1 popped up. Bryant underneath it and makes the catch. We will go to the fifth inning. 13-2 is the score. Cubs 3 outs away from a victory on the Windy City Sports Network. Top of the fifth, 13-2 Chicago Cubs. Nike RBI. Gabe Manier into the game to pitch, and a pinch hitter here for Kansas City. Waves and misses at it for strike one. The 0-1 for Manier misses down and away. Two on the count. As William Way pinch hits here in the fifth. That one's just a bit outside. Tried the corner and missed.
Struggling with a little bit of command there. 3-1 count, hopefully to bounce back.
See, I never had a chance to say that during the Milwaukee games, and I'm honestly upset with myself. I didn't get to drop the Bob Uecker just a bit outside. I didn't, and I'm honestly disappointed in myself and my abilities there.
Major League.
Great movie, great broadcaster, legend. That's ball four. Way has himself a pinch hit walk. Elijah Sanchez will come on up for his third go-round. One of two Kansas City Royals Nike RBI players who have reached base safely in both plate appearances in this game. The only other player is Miguel Navarro, the first baseman. Saran Bryant will come back and pinch run and will take over for Way again in center field. So Way, good at bat for him, as Bryant's speed is now back on the base paths. He's on the move on the first pitch. That is outside, throw down to second base. Nearly gets away. Good backup by Hernandez, who remains in the game to play short.
Yeah, some great backup by Hernandez there as the ball almost gets away. Bryant able to show his speed once again. He's safely in there at second.
One out. Fouled back. 1-1. Sanchez walked his last time up. Ball one. So when it pop up just above us and it bounces back onto the concourse.
A little bit of a bouncing ball there. Good contact. And it just goes foul.
Runner goes, pitches away, and Alexander eats the throw.
Ball just pops out of Alexander's glove right there. He's not able to make sure that he has full control of the ball, and Bryant gives him no chance at gunning him out.
That's a wild pitch, and Bryant's not going, and he's immediately shaking his head. Like, why didn't I go?
Yeah, he's thinking to himself that he should have really went on that one. It was a freebie, but he just stood there in awe a little bit, paused up, and just one of those decisions where you're like, man, you gotta just be kidding me right now.
Ball four and another run and another base runner here for Kansas City.
Yeah, he's got to have a little bit more control at the bump right now as you have runners on first and third. If you walk another guy, it's going to be a lot of trouble.
Runner nearly goes on a pitch down and away. And time is called. And Ellis Alexander wants this meeting by himself.
There's some good leadership by Alexander right there. He just goes up and talks with his pitcher, just one-on-one conference, just to make sure that they're both on the same page. That's the first thing you have to do as a pitcher and catcher, always be communicative of what pitches are being thrown and make sure that you guys aren't crossed up.
On the move for second. Pitch is in there. Throw down a second. They got him. Cooked him. Alexander with a beauty of a throw to cut down Sanchez at second base, and there's one gone.
Alexander becoming a chef right there as he just cooks him out, making sure that he doesn't get a second safely whatsoever. Probably get some visual boards up here, put a little chef's hat on him.
So yesterday we were building houses in the graphical elements, and now today we're doing chef hats.
Yeah, a little bit of chef hats. Good old chef hat.
This is the result of calling 4 games in one day right here.
A chef hat, an apron.
Wouldn't change it for the world,
Good
though.
old spatula.
3-0 misses down and away. Manier's really having trouble finding the strike zone. He's lucky that Alexander was able to bail him out with that throw him out there at second base.
Yeah, Manier, lots of control issues. The ball just keeps going and sailing a little bit to the right hand or to the left hand side. Catcher seems to set up down the middle and more so towards the right.
3-0. Tapper back to the mound. Manier goes to one, out there, runner coming home. The throw there is bounced in there from Piper, so Kansas City makes it a 10-run game as Bryant slides in safely. It's an RBI ground out for Logan Lanier, and there's 2 gone here in the inning. Also on the play was Finley going to second.
Not too sure what happened on that throw there, if there was a little bit of contact with him and the runner from the tag. Couldn't get the ball out of his mitt just quite in time, and Kansas City able to capitalize on that play.
Swing and a miss. Navarro, 0-1. That run will be charged to Manier, and it's earned. Navarro has reached base in both plate appearances, but he goes down 0-2. Singled in the first, walked and scored in the fourth.
And Navarro really wants one here as he swings at the first 2 pitches he's offered.
0-2 runner on the move. Pitch is popped up left side. Hernandez drifting out. Diaz charging in. Diaz makes the catch, and the Cubs win it. 13-3 is the final, as the Cubs Nike RBI team goes 2-0 here on Saturday and finished with a 2-2 pool play record.
Yeah, a little bit of that night and day with the Cubs going 2-0 here at Curtis Granderson Field. As for Kansas City, it's still a work in progress, but it's a really good sign to have them win 1 against Gary, with the year prior having them go 0-4. So some really good sides to see from both ball clubs.
So that's going to do it for us here for Game 3. We hope you can join us at 4:30 Central Time for the 4th and final game of pool play on the Windy City Sports Network, as well as the final pool play game in the entire baseball tournament, as Twins Nike RBI takes on Gary Nike RBI. From our partner James Lincoln, I'm Kevin Later. We'll see you in half an hour for Minnesota and Gary. But for now, you've been watching a presentation of the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network.
Johnson.